Welcome to the Wholesome Music Podcast.
It is another day.
The DIY podcast about DIY
music.
We are redoing this intro because we had a battery die.
Intro number 2.
So here we go.
Yes.
My name is Augustus Watkins. I am a musician. I do traditional PR with Cocaine Opera. I have a record label called Give Take. Songwriter based in Los Angeles. My pronouns are he, she, they, and you.
My name is Cam LJ. You're here with us at Secret Spot DTLA. We are downtown Los Angeles' co-working space for creatives. My pronouns are he, they, or she. You can call me whatever you like. Mm-hmm. And this week...
Can I call you an attack helicopter?
I mean, no. Honestly, no. Nope.
Okay.
Nope. And you can't call the police either.
Jesus. No, we ain't doing that. We have a really cool episode about email versus social media marketing.
Yes, we do.
It's something we've talked about before, but this is a really nice article that kind of breaks down some of the pros and some cons, which we then very adroitly transitioned into a discussion from an artist who has quit social media entirely and streaming entirely. And we're going to talk about his strategy. Maybe that's a strategy for you.
Maybe that's something you can work in. Maybe it's not.
ASCAP and BMI announced a rate increase on the radio. There's a service that is now connecting your live music to your YouTube channel. So we're going to get into that.
Something maybe bands in town might
if you are a gigging musician, you'd probably want to pay attention to this. A very interesting article. This is kind of our part 3 about Superfans.
And the bubble. You know, maybe there's a Superfan bubble, maybe there's not.
There's always a bubble in capitalism. So this is kind of like a think tank piece about how the shape of Superfans might take from an industry perspective, from a streaming perspective. And we were about to throw down. We were about
to throw hands.
Yeah. Because I was like, if you're sitting here right now and you're listening to us and you're saying, oh my God, this is a thing about Superfans, and then it's a thing about the very, very, very bad word
gamification. Yeah,
which is if that made you hurl in your mouth a little bit,
hang out, stay with us.
Because I was ready to just fucking punch you.
Oh, I was ready to take it. I was ready to go. I've been working on my boxing.
And then by the end, you kind of convinced me that there's actually could be value in this.
I think it's kind of fun. I think there's a lot here. I think there's something to dive into. Some way we can give some value back to the listeners.
Really interesting. So then we're going to talk about America's new sweetheart couple, their big news, the big marriage news.
Taylor and Travis.
Another small up and coming fledgling company called Apple Music.
Oh my God, they're so little. I haven't ever heard of them.
And then we've got we're going to talk a little bit about the situation with Lil Nas X.
That's right.
Free Lil Nas X.
Free Lil Nas X.
And then
free my boy.
And then free
my baby.
I mean, he's returned. He's free.
He's free.
And then the return
for now.
For now. And then the return of Chance the Rapper.
Yes.
So that's all pretty exciting. By the way, I'm in a mask. It's going to work for the episode.
Oh my God, are you sick?
No, you are.
I'm the super spreader. It's me.
So
I'm the problem. It's me.
So I think that about does it. Yeah,
that does. Let's get into
it. All right, here we go.
So I have this craziest story for you.
Okay.
So Jay and I, actually, Jay got a record player.
Yeah.
And I have never actually owned a record player before. Mm-hmm. And the thing about the record player that we have is we didn't have any records.
Right. Okay.
So we had this record player for a couple of months, and it was sitting there looking beautiful, but not getting used. And we went to a record store last week, and we were like, oh, I don't know any of these records, but it'd be cool to listen to them. And so I said, hey, why don't we do this thing where we go to a record store every week or every other week and find a record. You don't know what it is, not a record you know, but a record that speaks to you from the sleeve. And then we go home and we listen to the brand new record and expose ourselves to new music.
It's so old school.
But it's so much fun. And I thought you would appreciate that.
Actually, that relates to something we're going to talk about later about about the way that people's music digging habits have changed.
Oh my God.
It's actually kind of appropriate.
Kind of on topic.
Yeah. There's a really nice article on Indie on the Move from the
love Indie on the Move.
Yeah. Shout out to Indie on the Move by the Musician Indie Coalition, called "Promoting Your Music: Email versus Social Media Marketing."
I did see this.
So this is something that's I think really germane to what we talk about. As independent artists in the modern music industry, having a direct line of communication with your fans is absolutely paramount when promoting your music. With so much noise and I'm trying not to
get jiggy with it.
with so much noise and competition vying for attention on social media platforms, you need strategies for nurturing strong fan relationships and earning consistent income. Two of the most powerful channels at your disposal for music marketing are email marketing and social media marketing. Mm-hmm. So already we're kind of talking about, the article continues, but already we're talking about like how like there are different strategies for what you can do with email versus like social media.
Absolutely.
One of the challenges that we often talk about is how like it's really hard to get somebody off of social media into your world.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, Facebook wants to promote it less because you're driving traffic away.
Yeah.
Any platform doesn't want you to use a direct link because you're going to take my user, my daily active user, and send them somewhere else.
Yeah.
That makes if I'm Facebook, I'm Instagram, I'm YouTube, I don't want you to fucking direct people off of my platform.
And the thing is, and so there's this arms race that's happening with platforms.
Yes.
And it's one of the, I think you've heard of the phrase enshittification.
Of course.
It becomes one of the kind of like hallmarks of enshittification is because everybody's trying to go for for platform lock-in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so one of the ways you do that is by cribbing your even your like tertiary, not even your direct competitors, but somebody who's like doing something somewhat related to what you're doing. You'll do it just because you don't want them.
Reels, TikTok, or think stories and Instagram from Snapchat. Like if there's a competitive product, like something similar in the market, we're going to copy that because I don't want you going
anywhere else.
Yeah, I want you to stay here. Lock in with me. You don't need to go scroll on the For You page on TikTok. I got you.
I got a For You page.
I got it. Exactly.
Yeah.
You do? Can I stay?
Yeah. So it's this really weird kind of like build up arms race like that happens like with platforms. And the last thing they want you to do is to let you leave. So they continue. While the rise of social media has shifted a lot of fan focus and interaction to platforms like TikTok and YouTube Music, email remains one of the most potent tools in an artist's arsenal, primarily because, as we've talked about, you own your mailing list completely. Social media algorithms will always be out of your control, but your mailing list allows you to directly communicate with fans.
Absolutely.
Big deal.
Yeah, huge deal.
Yeah. Later, we're going to talk about an artist who has quit social media completely. So like we'll dive into this into some specifics.
Get into the details a little later.
Yeah. Some key advantages of email marketing. Higher chance of making sales. I can attest to this.
Absolutely.
At Give Take, our label, we sell, I don't mind saying, like the majority of our sales are from our mailing list going to Bandcamp.
I would say even for us, when we actively use our email list and we push out monthly, we get you can see it. You can see a direct correlation in conversions of people who are, I remember I've been following you guys, but I got the email and I wanted to come in and book a tour, or like you can see that direct action because you're not reaching out to a cold audience, you're reaching out to a warm audience.
That's actually point number 2, a more personal and direct line of communication.
Yes.
Right? 3, ability to send multimedia content like music videos easily to fans en masse. It's one thing to like post a music video and be like, hope somebody scrolls across it.
Yep.
It's entirely something else to be able to be like, here's my music video. It's one click and you're on YouTube or Vimeo, and boom. There it is.
And it's already ready.
Yeah, big. That's a major deal. Circumventing social media visibility issues. It's funny because we were talking. So we've been doing shorts on YouTube and on TikTok and on Instagram.
Yes.
There's so many platforms now. We are on fucking TikTok now.
We're finally there. We made it.
We did it. So one of the things we've been doing is also I've been posting all these.
Well, you've been creating these magical clips.
Thank you.
They're fucking appreciate these.
Please appreciate
the clips.
Yeah. So we've been posting these things on.
And not the clips record. Not the.
I appreciate that too. That's really good.
That's a good one too.
That was really good.
Yes.
But also appreciate these clips.
These clips.
So, but it was funny because one of the things was that. We posted. There's one. I did a little rant about how the people who run AI don't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
And that was really clippable, and so I posted that now on YouTube Shorts, Instagram, and TikTok. It's done pretty well on Instagram. TikTok, nothing we've been doing is really doing well on TikTok.
Not yet. But you gotta keep your hopes up.
But on YouTube, like our shorts are kind of are like
they're popping off.
Yeah, they're popping off.
Yeah.
Except that one. I've posted it twice now. The first time it got 3 views because I watched it and like tried to like turn it on, and then I hid that and posted it again, and now it still has 0 views.
Still just not hitting.
And it's like it's one thing to be like, you know, sometimes they only get like 40, 70 views, and you're like, okay.
But 0 is weird.
0 is weird, and I'm like, it's because it's about AI. It's because they're trashing
There's
AI.
something that's not hitting. Like they just don't want to promote that.
They just don't want that message getting out there, and like you don't have that problem with email.
No, you're never going to have certain topics that are like more favored or less favored by your email.
Right. No, it's just email. No risk of losing your audience, meaning a random account freeze, which is something that happens, a decline of service, like for example, MySpace, a ban on a service. You know, people like, and like MySpace is the famous one, but like Tumblr is gone.
Yeah, from what it was.
Yeah. Like I'm like one of the weird... Vine dead.
Gone. If you built up 14 million people with you on Vine, hope they migrated to YouTube.
Yeah. Twitter, Nazis. Like, gone. What's one I was thinking of?
That's crazy to think about people who built a base on Twitter.
I know.
Like, I just want to explore that for just a second. Like, fuck. Like, and it seemed so stable for so long.
Yeah.
Jack Dorsey was holding it down.
Yeah, they really were. And now it's the
Nazi platform.
It's a Nazi platform, which
that's
is
crazy.
Really fucked up. Yeah.
Wonderful turn of the times, right?
Yeah. Like
great times we're living in.
Imgur is a platform that I actually fuck with.
That used to be huge too.
Yeah. And
is that still going?
It's still going, but that's having some controversies right now.
Ooh.
So like it feels like Imgur might be on. We'll see, but it feels like right now Imgur might be having a little bit of Reddit's got its problems.
It does.
So you build these audiences.
But Reddit's got some great stories.
Yeah, it sure does. But Reddit's there was like, was it last year or 2 years ago? There was a big like.
Oh, there's a lot of let's just say NSFW content there.
But also there's like do you remember this a couple years ago where like they were locking down subreddits because So it's like if you relied on a subreddit to like be a place, it was like, oh, you had this niche and the subreddit was like a place you could get views. That may be gone now.
That's something that I think we can talk a little bit about for musicians is Reddit.
Yeah.
One thing that I found here is there are a bunch of Los Angeles groups.
Yep.
Lots of r/ looking for this thing in LA.
Yep.
And one thing that maybe we don't think about as musicians is like looking for concerts in my city, looking for music in my city, and comment yourself. Comment, hey, there's this show that I'm hosting happening in my city. And that being said, it's a timely thing. So kind of like Facebook groups used to be, you're going to have to be committing a certain amount of time every week or every month to finding these particular subgroups and getting into them and then posting and reminding people regularly. But as Facebook groups have died, this is another area that maybe we can start to exploit and maybe won't be as saturated.
And going back to our conversation about adding value, it's a really great example because like Reddit is a place where it's like if you know how to communicate within the community, you can be really accepted and you can genuinely create connections and friends and like grow a thing.
Yeah,
and
you can.
If you come in, and also if you act like a tourist and you parachute in,
it's not going to go so well.
They can smell that too.
Yeah, so right away.
Like all platforms, you have to put a little bit of dedication to it.
Learn the language.
Yeah. So it's like, and again, add value like we've talked about going back. Final point about email. Research shows email remains an incredibly sticky tool. Fans tend to change social media accounts and shift preferences across platforms much more frequently than abandoning established email accounts.
I feel like your email is a lot like your phone number. I don't want to change it unless I absolutely have to.
No, dude, that would be a huge hassle for me to change my email address.
All of my accounts would get locked out of, got to recreate all of my accounts. Like, no, I just want to keep it the same. That's going to be the easiest way to contact me. If you are trying to, send me your newsletter, send me your email, it's definitely fastest in the email.
And like more and stickiest.
Yeah.
And like email is one of those things we'll never get. Well, I shouldn't say never because God knows we live in unprecedented times. But like email's never going to. Emails is platformless.
Yes.
So like Gmail might get creepy.
Google.
But like
Yahoo.
Yeah. It's like
Hotmail.
But you can self-host.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I self-host.
Yep. We do for Secret Spot DTLA.
Okay, yeah. So like there are ways to kind of get around that stuff too. But like you're way less like there's never going to be the commercial imperative for email is so much different than it is for social media. So like, you're just way less subject to the whims of the market.
And I think that comes down to like with social media, you're the product, right?
Yeah.
And I think with email
Email's
is
the
the
product.
Yeah.
Good point. Really well said. In fact, let's say that again so we can clip it.
Yes. with social media, you are the product. It's your data that's being collected. With email is the product.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to sign up and give me your consistent usership versus I want you to sign up and get your data.
Wow. Totally. Insane, right? So here's the key strengths of social media platforms. On the other hand, there are things that email cannot do.
Yeah.
Reaching beyond your existing fan base to attract fans.
Boom. You're not gonna get in anybody's inbox that's just not already signed up.
You cannot spam people with your email.
And it's bad. And it's bad if you do.
Yeah.
So I ran a campaign a number of years ago, and I won't get super deep into this, but I worked with a marketing agent.
Okay.
And they did something where they scraped.
Oh.
They scraped a ton of data for us.
Yeah.
And a bunch of emails and found people who were in our niche.
Yeah.
And I had an email list that I ran like that.
Yeah.
And your open rate is gonna just plummet.
Yeah.
Your people, like when we talk about email lists being more effective, if your email list has a bunch of people who aren't intentionally meant to be on your email list, it's gonna mess up. It's just like bots. It's gonna mess up your data. It's gonna mess up everything that you have. So it's better just, to get people who are down to click subscribe and go with those people.
Yeah.
And I promise if you do it, it'll build.
And serve them, shareability of content, like for the most part, we're not like forwarding the emails we get.
Yeah.
It's just not really built that way.
No.
Email is not a social media platform.
Maybe back in the day when you used to get those emails that were like, if you don't send this to 5 other people, you're cursed.
forward, re. Too funny, LOL. And that's like your grandma forwarded to you, and you're like, I know, grandma.
This is a scam, grandma. Don't send me this.
That's really having two-way fan conversations. Although, like, for the most part with email, like they can email you back, but a lot of and people do. Yeah. But it's different than being like posting a nice little comment.
I will say from our newsletter, we get very low response engagement. Sure. Very few people are like specifically responding to the newsletter to chat. It's more of the response that we get from our newsletter is people then going onto our website and like booking a tour or going on and like booking something from that or coming to an event where we're not getting as much like one-to-one engagement. I feel like that's a social media thing.
They're following a call to action rather than like being having.
That's exactly right. Following the call to action.
And then finally, something you touched on is real-time engagement. Yeah. It's that same like just being able to post something timely and have a timely response and have it just kind of be part of the conversation.
Have a one-on-one or like a back and forth.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk. I think we'll come back and do this next. We're gonna highlight an artist who has quit social media altogether and is using nothing but like old school in email and marketing and old school marketing tactics for his career.
Wow.
So we'll do that when we come back. This is another article actually from Indie on the Move.
Okay, Indie on the Move, let's go.
2 for 2 on the Indie on the Move tip. Why I pulled my music from Spotify, YouTube, and social media for good.
Wow.
By Scott Helmer. This I don't normally like incorporate the tagline for these authors, but I think it's really important, and we'll contextualize it in a second. By Scott Helmer, a touring singer-songwriter. He has opened for Heart, Eddie Money, Three Doors Down, Jeff Bridges, and Eric Burdon and the Animals.
Just to clarify, the writer is also the touring artist.
Yeah.
Wow.
He wrote, so
that's awesome.
He wrote his art. So like one thing we should say is if you look at the audience that he serves, these are older
fan base, absolutely. This isn't necessarily like your Sabrina Carpenter or like your Billie Eilish.
Yeah, or like, we kind of know that like hip hop and R&B is like really like on the technology bandwagon in a way that some of these older artists aren't. So I think it's important. I think we should keep that in mind as we read this article.
Yes.
Just do a little bit of media literacy.
Something to have and keep in the back of your mind.
Here we go. Says Scott, I've removed all my music from Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, and every other major streaming platform. I've also deleted my YouTube channel and all social media accounts.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's fucking insane. No more chasing algorithms. No more playing a rigged game where real artists are buried by bots and manufactured content. No more relying on tech giants to reach people who already want to hear from me. So we've talked about this a lot, right? And then we talked about it in the last segment. How,
Absolutely. Email lists.
It can be hard to connect with people who do want to hear from you, let alone reach new people. And, you know, we really we've talked about it a lot about how difficult the social media game can be. And I know from talking to a lot of artists that navigating social media is frustrating for a lot of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
One way to...
And exhausting.
Yeah.
And exhausting.
Yeah. So here's like an interesting way to win the game. Quit.
Get out of the game.
From now on, everything I create, music videos, tour dates, photos, and merch lives only at my website, scotthelmer.com. I've gone 100% direct to fan. This isn't a nostalgic throwback or an impulsive protest. It's a deliberate decision to take back control, stay true to my values, and build something real.
There's something really, really interesting here because I've taken a lot of our sales away from, you know, going through Cash App or going through Venmo or going through Zelle and pushed everything to go through my website.
Yeah.
One thing I think we don't talk about when we're talking about going direct to fan or just selling directly through your own source is you're not necessarily losing the service fees. Depending on like who you use for hosting your website, whether it's Wix or Squarespace or any GoDaddy, you're still going to deal with some of these fees, some of the service things, but you get this benefit of being able to control. You have control over setting your prices exactly how you want them.
Yeah.
How is the content getting to your audience? Like, what does it look like? Like, can you have it? You don't have to be on a 4x4 grid like on Instagram. Right. You don't have to. There are format things that you kind of get a benefit from aside from just the benefit of being able to be specifically to your audience.
Yeah, you can really present yourself the way that you see yourself. Or, which is kind of cool. All these platforms, meaning the tech platforms, the social media platforms, want you to create, record, and release music, pay to do it, and then pay again to promote it.
Yes.
Which is a really like concise way to describe the problem.
It's no right on the nose.
No notes, right? Yeah.
No, it's exactly.
Meanwhile, they flood their ecosystems with AI-generated noise at a scale no human could ever match, burying the very artists who built the platform in the first place. And we're supposed to be okay with this? Just keep taking abuse? There's a deeper ethical line, too. We talked about this in our last episode, why we're not on Spotify. Spotify's founder invested $700 million in a company that develops AI-powered military targeting systems. That's not where I want my music to live.
No, that's not ideal.
I'm not stepping away from music. I'm stepping away towards something better. So already here's a person who's really like pretty concisely demonstrated like all the problems that like, a lot of us feel about social media.
Yeah.
And I'm actually really inspired by this, and I'm like, God, this is like fucking brilliant. Actually,
I do think we should talk about how do you solve the problems that come with stepping away from social media.
Yeah.
So if you're a new artist, or even if you're like a more established artist like this, how do you then solve the issues of reach?
Yeah.
Are you still doing collaborations with people who are on those platforms? And that's a way you can kind of get around that reach because, you know, maybe you're not...
Like you're the one person without a cell phone, but you don't need one because everyone around you has a cell phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, like, are you kind of utilizing things like collaborations, or are you using other ways that you can kind of continue to capitalize on the reach that you might get from those platforms without having to actually be there yourself?
Well, let's talk about what Scott's doing.
Yes.
I'm rebuilding my email list to stay in touch directly.
Email list, love that.
No middlemen, no filters, just real connection. I'm booking a national tour from 2025 to 2026, open to any venue that values original live music. My focus is doing as much as possible in the real world, not on screens or inside content feeds. I performed over 1,000 shows nationwide at events of all sizes. Playing my own songs in front of a live audience is what it's about. Interesting to me that he's like, I'm just going to focus like
on live,
really on what I just truly want to do.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see like how are people going to discover you.
Well, live is a great way for discovery.
But how are people going to like check you out if they are like maybe checking out to see if they want to come to your live show? It's going to be interesting.
It'll be tough to sell the tickets.
Yeah.
But I think once you're in the venue, I think especially, you know, if you're not doing the show by yourself, if you've got other groups you're playing with, that's another thing. Or if you're going to venues that if you're doing like a bar tour, I think that's a great area for discovery. And something we don't talk about enough is, hey, if I'm a small artist, I'm trying to grow my Instagram from like 1,500 followers to 3,000 followers, one of the best things you can do is go out, go to bars, go to open mics, go to events, go to anything, anywhere you can play and tell people, hey, this is my song and this is where you find me and I would love to connect with you.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
That is discovery.
Yeah.
That is the most authentic form of discovery too.
Truly the only way that my social media, and I don't really care about it too much, but I don't mind saying I care a little bit.
I think that's truly the way everybody's social media grows.
There are people who get followed because they post some stuff, but that's not me.
I think there's a small percentage of people who experience what we call viral growth, where hey, I posted something that did super, super well, but I've also worked with artists. I worked with a country artist recently who did somewhere near in the field of 400,000 views on a couple of videos of him performing, and some of the comments roasted him a little bit. Sure. A little bit of goofing, but a lot of it was really positive, and you're still having this viral moment, but this person is still sitting at 3,000 followers. So we're not looking at that kind of conversion from 1 or 2 or even 3 viral videos. Right. So I think that conversion is coming from those artists that we're looking at going out in the city and seeing someone with 10K, 8K, 15K followers that are organic and are legitimate.
Playing a lot of shows.
And going out, having a lot of face-to-face engagement.
Which seems to be Scott's approach.
Take right here.
I'm selling a physical product, CDs, vinyl, and merch at shows and online. It may be simple, but fans still appreciate something tangible and real.
Oh, of course. So I just bought vinyl today.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is and he's an established touring artist.
Yes, that is noteworthy.
Yeah, and as we sort of discussed, he's targeting maybe an older, which tends to be a little more affluent audience. So these are people,
a little bit of a boomer vibe.
Yeah, a little bit of a boomer vibe. You're in Gen X vibe. So these are people who have some money to spend.
Yeah, you're not dealing with the broke millennials and Gen Z who's I don't know, I haven't gotten it yet, but I'd love to buy it.
Yeah, how can I stream you? Because that's all I can do. Yeah. I'm building a repeatable touring circuit. This is something we should talk about more. I'm building a repeatable touring circuit so I can return to each market more once or twice a year and grow a true local fan base.
This is something I want to have us talk about more. I think we should focus on for independent artists at any scale.
Yeah.
At any scale. I don't care if you have 300 followers. I don't care if you have 3,000 followers. I don't care if you have 300,000 followers. Yep. I think you should be going to the same venues over and over and over again. And even if it's 4 or 5 venues you have in 4 or 5 cities that you can accessibly take your car to, or you can, maybe it's the city that your mom lives in, the city your best friend lives in, and the city that you live in. And you can hit those same 3 bars. And even if it's 10 people who come out to your show, 15 people who come out to your show, year 3, it's 30 people who come out to your show. And now you have a group of people who are going to tell their friends, be like, hey, they're in town. I really liked their show last time. Would you want to go with me?
Let's go out. Yeah. This is something we kind of, they talk about as anchor spots too. So it's if you have, let's say this is something I used to do, not too successfully. I did it was okay, but I used to go to I'd go to Omaha, Nebraska, because it was a college town and I had some connections there.
College towns are the best.
I'd go from Minneapolis to Omaha, and then I'd hit up Des Moines along the way. And then I could hit up. You could do Quad Cities. You could do Lincoln. So you could do a couple of runs, right? Yeah. And that became kind of just a little circuit I did.
Yes.
And then I worked on doing the same thing from Minneapolis to Chicago. So you could do Eau Claire, Milwaukee, Chicago. Some combination of that going back and forth.
Absolutely.
So that's something. So it's so you have a connection at a spot. You can hit some dates in between, and then you're what he said is you're a local in that.
You are
in that scene.
Yes.
Big deal.
It's a huge deal.
I'm meeting fans face to face after every show, not to sell, but to connect. Something, and it's kind of cool. It's there's this shorthand thing that happens too, where you're all right, hey, let's exchange Instagrams, bye, and you're cool, we'll follow each other now. But it's if that's not an option for you,
what's going on?
Yeah, so you better you need to do something else in order to make an actual genuine connection.
Yes.
So I wonder if that's plays into the strategy. It's something we talk about in marketing. is that your weakness can become your strength.
Yeah.
So it's like if you hear like, oh, I'm not on social media, I'm not on streaming, like that's a weakness. Well, it is, but it's like you can turn your weakness into your strength.
Yes, absolutely. And maybe it takes a little bit more diligence. Like you need to be more thoughtful, you need to be a little bit more intentional.
Yeah.
But maybe that will turn into more tangible results.
I think that's what we're talking about here. Yeah. I'm working hard to secure coverage for each tour stop through radio, podcasts, local newspapers, and outlets that still reach communities. Traditional PR. It's not
Let's
dead.
really talk briefly about how is this applicable for new artists? How can we, like, if you come to, like, let's say I'm coming to you, I'm a new artist, I'm like, hey, you know, I've maybe sold, let's say I've sold 100 vinyl. Mm-hmm. I've got maybe, I'm a new artist, I've been performing for like 3 years.
Okay.
And I can sell in Los Angeles at my show, and I'm doing maybe 5 shows every 6 months.
Okay.
So not a show
month.
about. Miss one.
And selling 30, 40 tickets.
Exactly.
And just like, okay, yeah.
Do I jump off social media? Do I stay? What do you think? And if I do, what do I do? Why would I do it? Can you break this down for me in like who is it right for?
Yeah.
What if I'm making, let's do 2 different versions. What if I'm making music for younger people? What if I'm making music for older people? How does that break down?
I really think it has, like a lot of things, it has to come down to like who you are, who your audience is, and what it means to you.
Yeah.
And so it's like this guy, he has something established, which I think is a really big deal.
Yeah.
And has a specific strategy for what he's going to do. I think if you were I don't think it's very smart to just impulsively quit.
Yep.
Like, you know, and something like, you know, even us like dropping off Spotify, that's like, maybe that wasn't the right move. That might have been impulsive. Like, I'm okay with it, but maybe it wasn't the right move because we're kind of small and that's a place to grow. So like that might not have been the right move.
It's an experience.
But we're here for it, and fuck it, 'cause
we're here for the long run, baby.
Yeah, fuck it. So like, I don't think you should do it willy nilly.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
If you're gonna do it,
be intentional.
Because I've been actually thinking about this a lot. Because like I've got years of mailing lists, and like different projects, and like I'm like, should I kind of emulate this? Like, should I just get on?
Yeah.
Be really serious about my mailing list? Because I haven't been like my businesses have been serious about my mailing list, but I haven't been serious about my personal mailing list. I got my website in order this year. So I'm like, maybe I should just like, and maybe this is for me.
Yeah.
Because I love getting on the road.
Yeah.
And I love having a face-to-face conversation.
Me too.
And I don't really love posting on social media for as much as I do it.
And is it giving you enough to make it worth your time?
That is the fucking question.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I don't know if it's giving me enough.
So maybe it's interpersonal to each person. It's dependent on, you know, is this going to be your bread and butter? Are you an influencer? And if you're an influencer, maybe this isn't the plan for you.
Yeah.
But are you someone who's focused on live shows? You love performing. You already go out on the road. You're already driving your van around and playing in different places. Maybe this is a tactic for you or something you can work in.
Yeah. Or and just as importantly, is your audience going to be there for it?
Yeah.
So
because if you got a bunch of 15-year-olds listening to you, probably not the move.
You probably need to be on TikTok.
Yeah.
So just to kind of close this out, he concludes, what started as a way to share my songs became a one-sided loop. You feed the machine, it buries your work, and calls it exposure. I had to break that. We don't need their system if we build our own.
I love that.
Yeah. Pretty fucking rad, right?
That's beautiful.
So, you know, shout out to Scott Helmer. I don't know what his music sounds like. I didn't listen. But this as a strategy is something that's pretty fucking interesting.
Yeah.
And I think it's worth kind of putting in your pipe and smoking.
I'm ready. I love it.
Well, we know you are. What?
We got some music business happening.
What?
My phone just wanted to make a call.
That was like the...
It was like the dial tone.
I've never heard that in like 10 years.
I know.
15 years. I didn't know. Can you do it again and put it on the mic?
I don't think I can. I don't even know. I don't even know how to make it.
Happened?
Let's see if I can.
All right. Put it on speakerphone.
Oh, wait. Don't call. Call.
Why does your phone make that noise?
My phone is telling me whoever this person is called me, you can't call them back. They're like, no, you are not allowed to speak to this person.
Wow, that was super weird. So anyway, getting back to, we got a couple new, just notes about the music industry.
Yes, we're here for that.
A couple cool things. One, ASCAP and BMI have struck deals to increase their U.S. radio royalty rates.
I read this.
Yeah, this has been kind of all over.
This is a big deal.
Yeah. Stuart Dredge at musically.com, Cameron Coates from radioinc.com. These are the two authors who I've kind of compiled this from. Mm-hmm. Radio royalties remain a vital source of income for artists and songwriters, so there is good news in the U.S. this week, with ASCAP and BMI both announcing the settlement of rate court proceedings with the Radio Music Licensing Committee. That's a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about really quickly, what is ASCAP and BMI?
ASCAP and BMI are performing rights organizations.
Yeah, PROs, often called PROs.
Often called the PRO.
And what do?
They collect your performance rights royalties. They collect the monies and make sure that you get the monies.
Yep.
If you register. If you don't register, you're not going to get the monies.
And who do they collect it for?
They collect it for writers.
Yes.
They collect it for writers and publishers.
Yep. So specifically for songwriters, and why this is one of the reasons why this matters is because there's really a lot of industry focus right now about how songwriters are getting kind of a bad deal.
Like a shit end of the stick?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know about that.
Yeah. So I think a lot of, for the songwriters out there, for the pure songwriters out there, this should be a bit of good news.
Yes.
Along with, maybe you're convincing your label or convincing the people you're working with to give you a little bit of royalties on the mechanical side. Mm-hmm. This maybe will help you with the publishing side.
Absolutely. Get a little bit more value out of your royalties. Get a little bit more from your publishing. Get a little bit more from the writer side.
So you're going to get this from radio. What did we say? Radio, but also radio. Hey,
there we are.
You're going to get this from radio, from your on-stage performances, your public performances, like when your music is played at a coffee shop.
Target.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, big deal. BMI is celebrating its largest rate increase ever for the radio industry. This comes less than a year after that same organization, the Radio Music Licensing Committee, and CSAC both claimed victory after an arbitration panel.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of the main three in the U.S.
Yep.
Of the organizations that pay songwriters.
CSAC isn't all of North America, correct?
I think it is.
I think it is as well.
Yeah. So quick note, you might check your ASCAP and your BMI royalties. If you're a songwriter and you're not registering yourself with a PRO, if you're putting yourself out on
please do.
Yeah.
Please. It's not expensive.
No.
This is not a big ask.
No, this is we've been kind of teasing this. We need to do the breakdown of royalties.
Yes.
But it's so complex that it's I've been dreading doing it.
I have the checklist. We just got to go over the checklist.
Okay.
Because I use a checklist for every single one of my artists. Make sure you register in all of these places. Yeah. And I think it's a great way to disseminate the information.
Yeah.
Because there are so many boxes to check.
Yeah.
And if you're just trying to go from here, trying to remember.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to do that.
So, once again, we're teasing this.
Yes.
But the short of it for now is just get on a PRO, get on BMI or ASCAP. What are you?
TLDR, I am with ASCAP.
Okay, I am too.
Yeah.
And a lot of people I know are on BMI. And
I've honestly, not that I will, but I've been thinking a lot because I feel like I went to ASCAP. I create Music Expo. I've had great experiences with ASCAP. I haven't had anything negative to say. But the I Create Music Expo died. And there is a lot of artist engagement activity from BMI right now. And I would love to see kind of the other side.
Oh, okay. All right.
Maybe I'll Android Apple it and switch over to the other side.
Yeah.
And see
what you can do.
Yeah.
So the next thing I wanted to quickly touch on is that Bands in Town inks YouTube deal to become the platform's exclusive provider of concert listings. Mm-hmm. So I imagine
Bands in Town is huge now.
Yeah. They kind of used to be like the little brother to what was the one? The
Ticketmaster?
No.
Eventbrite?
No. There used because
not Live Nation.
No. They were just there's another site that used to be.
You're talking. It's not Bandcamp. It's you're talking about.
I even wrote it down.
Not CD Baby. Not it's Reverb Nation.
Kind of like Reverb Nation.
It's like that. It's
Songkick.
Songkick.
Yeah.
Songkick. Throwback.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about Songkick.
So I do, because I've been like really, because Songkick used to be, Songkick still serves Bandcamp.
Okay.
But then.
And you spend a lot more time in that world.
Yeah. And now, but Bands in Town, I know that they've been kind of following, they got it on with Spotify earlier. Mm-hmm. So now they're on YouTube. Songkick is owned by Universal Music Group.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I didn't know either.
Wow. Well, now you know.
So, live music discovery platform Bands in Town has become the exclusive provider of concert listings on YouTube and YouTube Music. YouTube users can now discover its concert listings while watching artist videos and shorts and exploring official artist channels. Bands in Town platform will soon be available to music fans while browsing the YouTube homepage, and the integration will expand to YouTube Music later this year, with Bands in Town's live events appearing on YouTube Music home and artist pages. In addition, the partnership with YouTube includes a new push notification feature for Bands in Town, alerting our users to nearby concerts and upcoming shows. This integration enables tour listings published by artists on Bands in Town for Artists for free to automatically display on YouTube.
This reminds me of the Shopify-Spotify integration, when Spotify started allowing you to see artist merch on their page, on their Spotify page, so you could immediately go over, listen to a song, and click buy their merch.
So Bands in Town is also integrated with Spotify. So if you're looking at a Spotify artist page and you see their events, that is fed from Bands in Town.
Okay.
So that's already like another kind of integration. Yeah. Bands in Town says that over the past 18 months, it has become the, quote, preferred live music data provider for companies and platforms such as Google, Spotify, Apple, and Shazam.
That's incredible. Yeah. That's huge.
So Bands in Town is on the up.
That's amazing.
What's the action item for this? If you are a gigging musician, you should have a Bands in Town profile, and you should be connecting your Bands in Town profile to your YouTube Music, to your Spotify, your Apple Music, and Shazam. And
I would say even if you have a venue too, if you have some place that you that music is performed at, then it's worth making sure that you don't just have a Live Nation profile. You don't just have, you are there.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, like I just did Bands in Town. I kind of ignored Bands in Town for many years. I played a handful of shows, and I got a handful of fans. And I didn't do anything. Now I'm on their mailing list, and I'm like, okay. And they keep telling me like, you've got all these fans, and I'm like, well, okay. So they're like, it's a platform that's happening. I think it's probably worth kind of paying attention for gigging musicians.
I think we should put together a list of what I would call secondary platforms like Bands in Town, like Bandcamp. I
would call that a primary, but go on.
No, they're not. They're not primary. It's smaller than SoundCloud. It's not your A-list apps. It's not going to be you should be on TikTok. You should be on Spotify. It's going to be your more community-oriented apps, like niche apps. Yeah. Niche apps that are actually valuable.
That's a cool idea. It's like the Patreon.
Yes.
Which still has value.
Still big. Yeah. But those apps that you might not think of being on and are of a lot of value.
Yeah. Reddit. We talked about earlier.
Reddit's a big one, though. Yeah. Reddit's huge. Yeah. Reddit, I think everyone's on Reddit. Well, maybe not everybody.
But as a musician.
Yeah. Using it how to leverage maybe we do that. How to leverage each individual platform for your music.
That's a cool thought. So, kind of maybe let us know what platforms you use, maybe some of the non-obvious places you go.
Maybe we do a tier list. Like, what's S tier? What's A tier?
Dude, we're gonna fight because I think the Bandcamp is an S tier.
I'm not gonna disagree and say it's not S tier. Yeah. I just think it's too small to be considered one of the main apps. Like it's smaller than it's not like meta level or it's just like I'm thinking like daily active user wise.
No, that's true. But it does pay out artists in the millions.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm not here to say it's not big. Yeah. I'm not saying it's not big. Mm-hmm. I like it big. Hey. No, I'm just here to say I think it would be cool because I think it's underexposed. Yeah. I think a lot of people don't know about it.
It's true. I think which kind of shocks me because it's been around a long time.
It's been around forever.
It's so valuable.
But there are so many of those things that I think they're hidden gems.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what are some hidden gems that you follow?
Yes.
Leave a comment or send us an email or
Let
DM
us know
us and
below.
let us know, and then we'll kind of start to maybe put that together.
Absolutely.
That's a cool idea. All right, we're gonna call that segment. And
Let's
we're
do
gonna
it.
come back and we're gonna talk about streaming.
Streaming.
You ever heard of streaming?
No, what is that?
You're about to. The unflattening of streaming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell me what that means.
So this is from MIDiA Research. We featured their work in the past.
Absolutely.
The author of this is Mark Mulligan, who I think is the founder of MIDiA Research. They're really, if you're interested in like the music industry, if for instance, say you have a podcast about the music industry,
Wow.
MIDiA Research might be a good place to
tap in
They
with.
do a lot of like executive level, high level, like, and so it's the kind of whatever. So it's the kind of stuff
They do a lot of overviews, kind of high level.
Yeah, and they do like research papers and documents. They're like a think tank. They're like a music industry think tank.
That's kind of magical.
Yeah, it's rad. So Mark Mulligan says, when Spotify first arrived 16 years ago, it was little more than a vast catalog of music with a search box. If you didn't know much about music, you weren't going to get much out of it. Thus, the first wave of adopters were music aficionados, hastening the demise of downloads, where many were currently spending their money. Fast forward to today, Spotify and other streaming services are a dramatically different value proposition, catering not just to those aficionados or superfans. We talked about the last 2 episodes now.
Yes.
But also for the passive massive that upgraded from radio and the occasional purchase. I think he might have meant the passive. I don't know. I don't quite know what passive massive means. He's using massive as a noun here.
The passive massive.
Yeah.
Like maybe the passive masses.
Yeah. I think that's what he's trying to say. Yeah. So it's just kind of talking about people who just like the casuals are just like, I listen to music in the car. And
It's nice. They turn it on when I'm at Target.
Yeah, I like it when I'm on at work.
Sometimes I wash my dishes to music.
Yeah. And like that's a huge swath of people. And what they're saying is that
I really like music when I'm running.
Yeah. So like Spotify has done something remarkable, which is to pivot from the major aficionados to instead be able to capture the passive people.
The passive masses.
Really interesting. That alone is like an interesting thing to think about, and in terms of like who you are as a musician and what.
Oh, I think it's hugely relevant, and I think if you work in stream or in sync, you probably think about this a lot.
Yeah.
Like using music in a more passive way as opposed to if you're like an artist. I think we're often thinking of music as the primary satiation.
Yep.
Or the thing that you're really listening to and focusing in on, like listening to lyrics from like a Kendrick Lamar record. You're really focused on that.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe if you're listening to like, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus.
Lo-fi beats to listen to while you study. Yeah.
Then maybe you're a little bit less of a active listener.
Yeah. Converting so many passives into subscribers was one of streaming's most important achievements. However, because there are so many more of them than aficionados, streaming's UX has prioritized their needs. This, in turn, has helped hasten the commodification of music.
Yes.
Interesting. I mean, like really like sharp narrative here, right?
I mean, music is a product. It's a vice we've had in the music industry since the inception of the music industry. Productification, like making... How do I sell this product? How do I turn your song into something that I can sell? And then how do I sell even more of it?
Do you want to know something that just like makes my fucking blood boil?
Yes.
So
always.
There's this, so you can use it against me later.
Yeah.
There's this saying that's gone around. If art is how we decorate space, music is how we decorate time.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
I hate it so much.
What?
Oh,
Really?
I hate it.
Really?
Absolutely fucking
No
hate
way.
it. Yeah. Because art is not decoration.
Okay.
Like we don't go to experience, like you can decorate, but art is about experiencing the transcendent.
Yeah?
Art is about like connecting to the unspeakable parts of the human experience.
Yes.
And so then to say that music is also not that, and music is just some way that we can decorate time. That's some Spotify ass shit right there.
Well, just to play the bad guy for a second.
Go on.
I think, like in a lot of ways, if you're at home, you need to listen to something maybe to make you feel better. Maybe to make you help you feel in the sad feels.
Yeah.
Music is that thing that decorates the space around you, the time that you spend sitting in those feelings.
I respectfully hear you. but goddamn, do I disagree? Because I think that really reduces, really reductive to what music is.
Yeah.
If you're saying that, like, if you want to, like, if you're like, I need to feel something, I need to cry.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna like put on something sad to cry. That really reduces that to just a sad product. When it is a fucking trend, it's like you need to cry because you need to experience like an emotional depth or some cathartic release, and so you're using a transcendent piece of art that connects you to the infinite in order to achieve that moment for yourself. That's not decoration.
But at the same time, there's the Sistine Chapel, right? The painting on the ceiling.
Yeah.
And to somebody, it's just a painting on the ceiling.
That's just decoration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to somebody, that's, oh my God, look at the days, the weeks of work. But to somebody, they're like, I don't know, it's cool. There was a painting on the ceiling.
The guy put a bunch of butts on the ceiling.
So I think it's perspective. There's definitely inherently a commodification of music that's happened.
Yeah, like,
that's for sure.
My rant notwithstanding, music has been super commodified.
Yeah.
The great economic paradox of streaming is that it does not differentiate between aficionados and passives, charging them the same fee for the same product. Little wonder then that aficionados have shifted their extra spend to live and merch. If the super premium tier does eventually make it to market, which they're talking about. We talked about this on the last episode, or maybe last episode and 2 episodes ago, how the streaming platforms are developing super tier markets, super fan tiers to get more money out of their fans.
Yeah.
And we kind of talked about,
absolutely.
We talked about the warnings that people are giving in the industry about how the impact that'll cause, and how that may be a cash grab. If the super premium tier does eventually make it to market, it will go some way to addressing this, but it will not be enough on its own, and may well come across as an unusual and out-of-place appendage to the standard streaming proposition. So that's another danger now that Mark is recognizing. We talked about how super premium tiers might just be alienate fans, because it turns the super fan from something that's like a human connection to just another like revenue stream.
Well, I think it's tough because there's always going to be people who want to spend extra on a product. There's always going to be people who are willing to pay for the gold iPhone, the gold one with the diamond on the back.
Yeah.
Okay, they're willing to spend for that. There's a certain number of people who want to buy a $3,500 Vision Pro, but a lot of people are going to wait for the cheaper version to come out.
True.
And I mean, would you be wrong for releasing the gold iPhone at a low volume for 3 times as much?
Yeah, if you can make your return on investment, then
make your money back, it's worth it.
From a capitalistic perspective, absolutely.
But at the same time, are you maybe devaluating the lowest version of that product? If I like taking it back to music, if I release my Dolby Atmos mix for only my super fans.
Yep.
But I'll release the Spotify compressed MP3 for anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people are listening on a Dolby Atmos in a room where they can experience that?
They can afford the extra for the mix. Yeah.
But at the same time, is there a huge quality difference in what you're delivering to your super fans, to your super premium tier, versus what you're delivering to your everyday listener?
Yeah. And what demands do they have? Because they have different demands as well. Yeah.
And I think to TLDR, if the gap is too wide, I think you're going to hurt both people. But if what you're giving the people who are paying the most is the product everybody wants, you're going to lose out on everybody.
Yep.
But also vice versa. If the product you're giving to the bottom tier is amazing and is everything, then why are some people going to move over and pay more?
So I think this will be a really interesting, probably 18 months to 24 months as companies begin to figure this out.
Yeah.
I'm on one level, I am really for it though, because I think there is a problem with the fact that you can get basically all the world's recorded music for $16 a month.
Yeah.
And then of course all that money just goes to Spotify rather than to the creators.
And to Apple Music and to all of the other huge platforms that are taking your money. Just be fair, Spotify sucks the most.
Yeah.
But everyone is
the whole concept of streaming music sucks.
Yeah.
So there's another side to this too, which is something interesting. Going back to what you were talking about discovering records, getting into crate digging for the first time. I think this is something that's really coming down the pike. And I think one of the indicators is what we're about to talk about. There are signs that Gen Z are not warming to streaming like they should be, with 16 to 19 penetration growing ages, 16 to 19 penetration growing far more slowly than other age groups. What links these two challenges is the fundamentally flat nature of Western streaming UX that needs to change. So I don't know if I agree with that last part, but the data does suggest that Gen Z are not paying for streaming.
And they're saying in this article that it's due to the user interface and the user experience.
Yeah.
I wonder, I think I kind of have similar feelings to you do, as maybe that's not the core issue. Yeah. Like maybe it isn't just the user experience, maybe it's the value of the product.
Yeah.
Like I think, especially for a younger generation, they're thinking about, I think for Gen Alpha and Gen Z in particular, they have a little bit longer range view. They're thinking about like, how does my life 50 years even exist in this time period with everything that's going on with like climate change and with all of the crazy politics that's happening. So I think Gen Alpha and Gen Z are a little bit more tuned in and willing to kind of maybe spend their dollars supporting artists they support.
That may be true. I'd like that to be true.
I'm a millennial, and I think a lot of us millennials are stuck in that feeling of being like, hey, I always use streaming. I remember when it came out. It's the easiest way for me to listen.
Yep.
And I think if you are entering this space as something that's already been established, maybe you're looking at it with a little bit more critical eyes if you're Gen Alpha or Gen Z. If you are Gen Alpha or Gen Z and you think that I'm totally wrong, tell me.
Yeah. This is interesting. What he's kind of talking about, getting into like what his remedy for this is, streaming UX needs to learn how to introduce friction.
Ooh.
But crucially, only for those who want it when they want it.
Okay.
The majority of the people want a friction-free experience. The opportunity is to create invitations to do more. The industry bemoans the shift from lean in to lean back, but now is the time for diving in.
What does that friction look like to you?
Well, let's talk about what he thinks it is.
Yeah.
Because I actually,
we'll dig in it.
It's quite the take.
Yes.
This needs tying to identity because that is central to the reward. For example, when someone spends time, whatever the streaming equivalent of crate digging might be, they get a quote hidden gem badge, which goes on their profile. And as much as I'm loath to use the G word, gamification will be part of the equation.
Yes. No, we need a pause. I've been talking about this. I've been thinking about this. This is so real. I do think we need to gamify like discovery of music. Gamify like your...
Oh, you're into this.
Yeah, I'm super into this. I'm super fucking into this. This I think is the fucking future. I think YouTube is trying to do this by supporting young creators and putting them forward in the feeds. So when you go, right now you can put a like on anything, doesn't matter. Like it doesn't hurt you in any way, doesn't take anything away from you to like something, but it does help the creator.
Yep.
So in some way, you as a viewer, you need to be rewarded for how many likes you give out, for how many engagements, especially I think it should be weighted towards lower creators. So your reward is higher if you are, say, under the first 10,000 people. Then your reward is higher if you're, say, under the first 1,000 people. That way, these early engagements with smaller creators have a little bit more value, and it's fun. It's not just like, okay, cool, they told me to like and subscribe, so I liked and subscribed.
Which you should do, by the way.
Yes! But, like it's these ways that we can gamify and make it a little bit, maybe we don't have to go all the way to gambling game where we got the rolling balls and stuff.
You're like, pull the lever to get a good song or a bad song.
but some way we can reward the listeners, especially and the users for participating, especially with new content and with like content that is in its early stages.
Okay, that's really sweet. That's a really nice take, because I was like, oh God, we're going to have some fucking comment, which is, I feel like what this was going towards, where it's like, all right, so now we have to like introduce, like now I need to get a fucking badge to be like, I listen to.
I hate the badges.
Although like this was, the counterpoint to my own argument here. What used to be fucking huge was Last.fm.
Yeah.
Which was a platform that used to track what you listened to, and it made this public profile. And then I never got into it, but then there's a lot of people who did. I'm sure there's people who are interested in this podcast who are participants. And so you would like, it would kind of gamify your interaction with your streaming services, and that's gone now, but it was really popular. So we do know that there's a recipe for it.
There is Google Reviews does this as well. They give you points. Every single review that you leave on Google Maps gives you a point, and you go from being a novice reviewer to an advanced reviewer to a expert reviewer. And in this system, your points aren't valuable for anything other than to raise you up.
They're just badges.
They're just badges.
They're just like leaderboards, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't know how effective I feel like that is. I think it's better to have a physical, tangible, like, hey, you have, maybe your subscription is, instead of being $17 now, it's $16.99 every single thing, and that a lot of platforms are very not excited.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
Away. But
they want the most people who are the most active to pay more, not less.
Maybe you find a way to like reward the users in some way, whether it's with badges, with stars. Maybe you get like skip an ad or some kind of a way that you could incentivize users to do this. And I think that would be really cool.
You changed my mind on this. Like when I at the top of reading this article, without hearing kind of your ideas behind it, I was like, God, this sounds so grim.
The gamification of music.
Yeah, but the things you're talking about, like, you kind of won me over on that. So
I've been a big fan of this. I'm happy to hear other people thinking this way.
You have a bit of a news and pop culture roundup for us.
I do. I have our pop culture roundup. I love these stories. This is my TMZ moment. This is my hot takes around the city. And we are obviously based here in Los Angeles, so some of this news is LA centric, but I'm kind of down to roll with that.
Yeah.
The first story that I have for us comes from Variety. And it's talking, the headline of the article is Apple Music to open 15,000 square foot studio in LA.
Dang.
So as many of us know, this is Apple Music's 10th year.
Okay.
Apple Music started in, I believe, June of 2015. So it has been a full decade.
Wow.
Full decade. Like,
where's the time gone?
I still think of iTunes. Maybe I'm the only one, but I still think of iTunes.
I still think of there was a time, a lot of people don't know this, but like one of the main people who really pushed for iTunes to be more visually interesting was Bono.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because he was friends with Steve Jobs.
Yeah, and I feel like there was like free Bono music at some point.
Well, there was the free Apple thing. They had a relationship. In fact, like in the old iPods, the artist tab was the silhouette of Bono. So like
you're right about that.
There was the U2 edition iPod.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that he had complained about was that, like, he's like, why does music look like a spreadsheet? You remember, like, iTunes, it just used to be like a list of songs. And they're like, why does my music should be more exciting?
Yeah, it was really easy to get to your metadata.
Yeah, he fucking ruined iTunes. Like I stan U2. Like I love U2 actually, but like,
me too.
Fucking like that, iTunes didn't need to be cute.
It was the era.
Yeah, iTunes didn't need to be beautiful or like fun. It needed to just like play my fucking music. Anyway, so let's talk about Apple Music.
This article comes from Todd Spangler. I'm sorry, Spangler. Todd Spangler.
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the great besties. Anyway, article from Variety. Apple announced a new Los Angeles studio for its podcast, for its Apple Music division, touting it as the company's most ambitious creative project to date. Apple Music LA, the studio space, a 3-story facility spanning more than 15,000 square feet, is slated to open later this summer, coinciding with the 10-year anniversary of Apple Music's debut in June of 2015. It's located in Culver City in the Hayden Tract neighborhood. Nearby, the tech giant is building a 550,000 square foot facility on the border of Culver City and the city of Los Angeles.
That's huge.
Which it's enormous, which will serve as its headquarters for the region for Apple TV Plus.
Okay. So they're kind of building out their little creative hub.
Yeah, a little Apple City. Okay. Little Apple Culver City.
So they're building a studio. That's studio size.
Yeah.
550,000 square feet is ginormo.
The Apple Music LA studio will feature a 4,000 square foot soundstage for live performances, multicam shoots, fan events, screenings. The facility has 2 advanced radio studios with immersive spatial audio playback because Apple is obsessed with spatial audio and they are not satisfied with Dolby Atmos.
Nope.
And
although it's the same thing.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
Got different codecs. Codecs are different.
Sure.
It's not the same.
Okay.
I have a new patent. Okay, Augustus, it's not the same.
You can have your patents.
It's better. It's spatial audio. It's better.
Yeah. Still nobody uses it. So.
No, nobody. But you could get AirPods Max.
Yeah.
And then you'll hear it like it's not really spatial, but you'll feel like it is.
Yeah. They can flatten. They can do. But actually, it is like they're pretty smart with the engineering they can do.
Oh, it sounds incredible.
What they can do with phasing.
Yeah,
it's
ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is.
So obviously they will have the 2 studios, the 2 radio stations with immersive audio playback and adaptable setups for live interviews, casual chats, impromptu performances. There's also a dedicated spatial audio mixing room outfitted with 9.2.4 PMC speaker system, as well as a photo and social media lab, editing room, and green screen room. This article goes on to talk a ton about how they're going to continue to build it, like what kind of stuff they're going to do. It looks like an amazing addition.
Yeah.
Obviously, LA is known for having incredible cutting edge facilities.
Yeah.
And this is just one more tech focused one.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting if you were to go back in time. All of these studios would be like Paramount Studios, would be like
Lionsgate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now we're starting to see more like Netflix Studio, more Apple TV,
Amazon.
more Amazon.
Yeah.
And so this is just a continuation of that trend.
Yep. Yeah, they got the money. It does show that like if it's not apparent like at this point that entertainment has been taken over by the tech industries, and that's not going anywhere.
That's a fact, baby.
All right,
that's a fact.
What else you got for us?
I got a fun story. Okay. I mean, maybe not so fun, but it does have a little bit of a resolution at the end.
Okay.
Earlier this week, Lil Nas X speaks out amid felony charges, hospitalization, and the terrifying last 4 days.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with what happened with Lil Nas X?
I actually ended up seeing the video. I don't really go for the but he was like a beautiful man.
Oh, he's a gorgeous man.
He's a gorgeous man, like walking in barefoot in his underwear down the street.
In Beverly Hills.
Yeah, like just and eventually I saw he was like talking to someone, and eventually the police picked him up, and I'm sure they treated him very, 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 very.
They were terrible, and they charged him with a felony for, and this is a quote, I would never use these words, for abusing a peace officer.
Oh.
So apparently
I'm fucking speechless. I'm so goddamn tired of the cops.
The fucking police are the fucking worst. They're fucking terrible. Fuck the pigs.
Yeah.
This article comes from the LA Times, and we'll just read a little snippet of it. You can go see the video. I don't know what to say here.
Yeah.
I want to fill you in on all the gossip, give you the tea. I want to keep you up to date with what's going on.
So he was charged with a felony.
Yes, he was charged with a felony. He's out on $750,000 or $75,000 bail.
Okay.
Which is excessive in my opinion. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane. If he were a white blonde girl, that would never happen.
No. No.
So the article says, Grammy winner Lil Nas X wants his fans to know he's going to be all right after he was hospitalized and arrested on suspicion of charging at police last week. So you were running at the police too aggressively.
Yeah.
You were coming at us too much. With this gun can't keep me safe from you running.
Yeah.
Didn't you learn? Don't run in the hallways in class.
This is one of the most insane things about the police is that you were there. We had to be careful because you were going for my gun. And the fucking logic of that is insane. They show up with the gun.
Baby, I was 50 feet away from you.
Yeah.
I'm not going for your gun.
Dude, and so they show up with a gun, and then you instantly become a danger because they have a gun? Explain to me how that fucking works.
I can't explain to you
how
that works.
You're the one who showed up with a fucking gun.
That's fucking...
Kills me.
It kills a lot of people.
It's the only... Literally, yeah. Poor choice of words on that part. I mean, fucking like... But other than that, the police are great.
About that. The Old Town Road and industry baby singer, real name Montero Lamar Hill, returned to social media Tuesday morning, hours after he posted $75,000 bail and was released from the Van Nuys jail. A selfie video posted to his Instagram story. Lil Nas X refers to himself in the third person and tells followers, "She's gonna be okay, y'all. Okay." She's gonna be all right. He continues chuckling. That was terrifying. That was terrifying. That was a terrifying 4 days, but your girl's going to be all right. This article goes on to talk a little bit about his history and what's been going on, his struggles. The 26-year-old Dream Boy musician did not speak further on his run-in with the police, which began early Thursday evening with his naked stroll through Studio City. Just a quick addendum here. He was not naked. He was not naked. There's no like exposition. There's no parts showing.
Yeah.
Like
he was in his underwear.
He was in his underwear. Yeah. In clean underwear too.
Which is not the same as naked.
No, it's not the same. Lil Nas X was hospitalized for a possible overdose Thursday. Officers responded to the 111th block of Ventura Boulevard to reports of a nude man walking in the street. Again, not nude. Yeah. An LAPD spokesperson confirmed to the LA Times last week. Police also booked the singer in the LAPD Valley Jail section in Van Nuys later Thursday morning on suspicion of a misdemeanor battery on a police officer. He was charged Monday with 4 felony counts, 3 counts of battery with injury on a police officer, 1 count of resisting, and executive officer related to the incident. He allegedly assaulted officers who were trying to take him into custody. At least 3 were injured. The LA County District, the LA County District Attorney's Office said. He pleaded not guilty on all accounts at his arraignment on Monday. He is due back in court September 15th and faces up to 5 years in state prison if convicted on all charges.
5 years for having a little problem in your underwear?
I think we've all taken a run. I think we've all taken a little run in the summer. It's summertime here in LA, yeah. And maybe you don't want to wear all your clothes.
Yeah,
there were no dicks out. There was nothing inappropriate.
No.
So I think this is just shitty, and I think this is a making example of another black celebrity, especially another black queer celebrity, and we fucking love to see that, don't we?
Yeah.
We love seeing that.
Yeah, I just at this point, nobody can take the police at their word. So
noteworthy things from this story to me are just that $75,000 is obscene.
Obscene.
It's crazy high. Yeah. There's no footage, no video, no stories about any injured officers. Fuck the officers. That's what they're there to do anyway. So I don't understand why this is a thing. Yep. But just we'll keep you updated on this story if there's more developments. I have a quick update today because today is Taylor Swift Today. Today is Tuesday. August 26th, and it is the day that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged.
Oh my God!
So that's your industry news of the day.
Fuck, my life is complete.
Isn't it cute?
It's the best.
Oh my God.
I love it when 2 fucking racist white people get together and like start making racist white people wealthy families. We need more. That's an underrepresented.
There aren't enough whites here.
There aren't
enough good whites. Really,
that's an underrepresented demographic.
It is, especially by 2030, they're going to be all gone.
Well, not if Travis and Taylor. I'm sure they're going to have 95 kids and fucking whatever. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, congratulations to fucking Taylor, Travis for getting goddamn married.
I hope you.
Weird. Like I actually Taylor Swift is an excellent songwriter.
Taylor Swift's an incredible
ton of respect for Taylor as a songwriter. Like Taylor as a celebrity, it sucks. She sucks.
I just did a deep dive into Taylor's catalog, and I was listening to all the songs she wrote with Max Martin versus all the songs she wrote with. Oh my gosh, I'm spacing on his name. With another one of her songwriters that is more recently, that she'd worked with more recently. And it was just a really interesting thing to kind of jump in and listen to how her music had shifted with the different writers that she was working with. It was the contrast between Jack Antonoff.
Oh, sure.
And
Max Martin.
And Max Martin is such a formulaic writer. It's very, very clear.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of all I had for you on Taylor Swift. I just wanted to give you guys the update. There's one other quick story I have for you guys relating to the modern music industry and releases for the week. That is Chance the Rapper's new record. Chance the Rapper, if you're not familiar with. Do you know a lot about Chance? What do you know about Chance the Rapper?
Not a lot. I fuck with Chance, but so he had a couple mixtapes that did really well.
Yes, dropped
an album that everybody kind of panned.
That's right, and that was the big day.
Yeah, okay.
Which was a big flop.
And so now he's back. He's recently divorced.
Back making music. Yeah. That was one of the big things. People were like, "Oh, you're just singing to your wife, bro." Yeah. Dude,
all right, hold on. First of all, we love a wife guy. Chance, if you want to be a wife guy, like, you have my full ass support.
We love it. Keep singing to your wife. Yeah. Keep being wholesome. We're the Wholesome Music Podcast. We love that.
Love a wife guy. But apparently that era is over.
That era, it came to an end almost before it started.
Yeah.
But the good news is this new record, Starline, is actually really, really interesting. Really cool kind of comeback for Chance the Rapper.
Yeah.
It was curious whether he would be able to sustain, make it through, or whether this would be the end of the line.
Because he quit, right? He said he was done.
He was done. Yeah. He was out of the game. A lot of people were kind of like, good for you. You should be done. And I think it's great to see a Midwest, Chicago-based rapper coming back up. And this record, Starline, is a lot of fun. I hope you check it out.
Nice. All right. Well, that's what we got for our news.
That's what we got lined up for you.
All right. Thanks for listening and watching the Wholesome Music Podcast. I have been Augustus. This has been Cameron. Please like and subscribe. Share this shit out.
Leave a comment down below.
Yeah. If you want to be a super fan, sharing this on your feed is the most important thing you can do. And follow us on Instagram and TikTok.
Because that's where we are.
All right. Thanks.
See you next week.